happen in our lifetime. I mentioned about the cell phone. I reached in there for a cell phone. I didn't have one. And I'm not going to take Eric's. I'm going to fight against that. And I'm going to say, this is a cell phone, y'all. Cheap imitation of a cell phone. But I told you, Australia developed that app that was able to make it to where all three of the front or the back cameras would turn on, and the front camera would turn on, the LiDAR sensors would turn on, the flashlights turn on, the GPS activated, and whatever Wi-Fi connection, Bluetooth connections, or 5G or 9G or whatever activated, and it was able to see you and where you were in the entire world, wherever you were, and map the room three-dimensionally. This technology did not exist in 90 AD. It didn't exist in 1990. It just was created and existed somewhere around 2018, 2019. And it was shown to us during COVID. So if folks had been positive for COVID or come in contact with somebody with COVID in Australia, they had the app, and their phone lit up. And when that phone lit up, you best be answering it, hold it up in front of your face to be positively identified, and then do whatever they tell you to do. And don't move, because they know where you're at. And you better charge your phone, because if it goes dead, they know where the last location was. So, this is, who in here has, what's that app that you and the boy have? Life 360. When someone's phone starts going dead and you have Life 360, it alerts you. Brum, 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 brum. It might as well just be saying, they're irresponsible. They're irresponsible. That's your child. That ain't mine. Leon's phone's 90%, unless he's recording for church. But, bum, bum, bum. Technology's there that it knows. Who knows what geofencing is? Geofencing is a three-dimensional fence, and it's in cyberspace, in a particular area, in GPS, and you can put one wherever you want to. Our daughter somehow, on my wife's phone, hers is set that every time she passes Broncos in Gaffney, my wife's phone goes off. Huh. Michaela's buying Broncos. Mac, she's a stalker. She's got it every time my wife leaves the house. Where you going, Mama? Where you going? Bring me back something. I like ice cream too. How y'all at the ice cream shop? You know, oh, you went by Starbucks? You know, whatever. But you can set those geo-meshes, geo-fencing, to tell where people are. That technology's not from the 1990s. It's recently. So anything that can be used to your benefit can be used to not benefit you, for your control. So we love technology. I love technology. I got smart glasses. I've got a smartphone. I got my MacBook Pro for my podcast and stuff. And I love it. My iPad for my sermons. Man, I just love technology. But every single part of that might as well be an electronic leash. Because where Leon goes, Leon can be tracked. When I had that Apple Watch, and the Apple Watch went dead after Helene, I was like, I miss my old Army Timex, man. That thing never went dead. And all I had to do is shine that flashlight on it. You know what I'm talking about. And then at night, if I'm on patrol, turn it around like that. The enemy can't see it, but I can see it. I know what time it is. That way when I have to make that sworn statement after my event, whatever I got to do, my mission, then I know what time I did this. I know what time I raised my rifle for this. I know what time I raised my rifle for that. I know what time I raised my rifle for this. And then when I get back to base, rotate that watch right back around, and I'm just like everybody else. And that was that. You change the battery, what, once every 3 years, something like that? So, but that Apple Watch, you charge it at night. It knows what your heart rate is, knows what your blood pressure's doing, tells you you're an AFib. Oh, it's time to stand up. That Apple Watch says that too. I'll tell you what, you're going to lose weight, you get an Apple Watch. It's going to tell you, oh, you need to stand up. Might as well just be like, you're lazy. You are lazy. But it's an electronic leash. Like it or not. My point is, the technology to control you is already here, and we buy it voluntarily. Voluntarily. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is the truth. There's terrorists in Israel who said these smartphones are being tracked too much. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go get pagers because those are less likely to be tracked. It just so happened that the IDF figured this out, and of course American intelligence figures this out. They already had a crate of pagers ready to be sold to these guys, and homeboys went and bought a crate of pagers that had a little bit of explosive put in there. They bought these things and went and do whatever terrorists do, and they were at the market, and some were hanging out over here, and some were over here in Finish Line, and some were over here sitting down drinking their little bitty cups of coffee and all this, and they felt very fancy until those pagers went off. And at the same time, every single one of them exploded. That's scary. What's your batteries made out of? Lithium doesn't explode, does it? I'm just saying, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. The conspiracy's already there. It's not a theory anymore. This is the technology. Never in the history of mankind have they been able to tell where every single human is. Your children play with phones. Your children have tablets. Your children go to school and get issued laptops where they are watched at any time. There was a CIA guy, I can't remember his name, or I'd give him credit because I believe in giving credit where credit is due. There was a CIA guy that not too long ago was a whistleblower on some things that went down, and some of which I agree should be going on, but I do agree that in some cases it was a little much. And I'm not going to go too deep into that. I'm just going to tell you there are people who are willing to do some horrendous things for the security and safety of the American people. You're welcome. But either way, here's the side of things people don't know. He notified the American people that your smart TVs, any of them, any smart TV, even if it's off, can be turned into a microphone that can hear everything. Your routers can become the same type of sensor as your LiDAR, and the ping on those routers can actually create a three-dimensional map of your house depending on the latency that the ping comes back. It can tell what your footprint of your house looks like. It can even, if it's a newer one, probably even with the older ones, they won't tell us all that. But even with the newer ones, you can, if the ping is strong enough, and what they can do is hit it with a certain frequency. It's like 65 hertz anyways, which is pretty fast, the oscillations. And when those things go through, they can actually make a map of where the people are. People. In your house. Without you knowing. And this is technology that exists right now. Right now. They can cut your laptops on, use the cameras. Everybody has always known that a microphone can be a speaker and a speaker can be a microphone, right? I mean, that's common knowledge. We were doing that to, my sister's toys. But either way, like you get the point. I'm just saying, you get the point. If you don't, you should now. I'm not telling you anything that isn't like common knowledge. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, went on down, and causeth all, here's the other one, y'all. We read chapter 15, which was scary enough. Here's chapter 16, which I quoted in my sermon. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in, not on, in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So, in. That's a key word. There's other translations that say it different. If yours says something different than in, get you a Bible. We'll get you one. I'll be happy to. And I'm not making fun of anybody, I'm just saying. That Bible should read in their right hand or in their forehead. It's a particular speech. This is not something you can wipe off. This is not something that you can change. This is a mark that goes in your skin. It's similar to what is etched in someone, branded in someone, cut into someone, planted into someone. It's a particular situation. It's not something that you can just, we're going to stamp it like you're going into one of them parties y'all tried to get into and they said, no, you ain't old enough. In or in. Someone said, well, what if you didn't have a right hand? Everybody's got a forehead. Right. Or you're dead. Right. You lose your forehead, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know anybody walking around without a forehead. In their right hand or in their forehead. So, you can be positively identified. They can identify whether or not you have said mark in your right hand or in your forehead. How many have heard about a quantum dot? Quantum dot. It is a small tattoo. You wouldn't even see it in some cases with the naked eye. This tattoo could be a QR code. It could have your entire 201 file if you're prior service. It could have whatever they want in it. There's a quantum dot that was printed that had the entire King James Bible on it. Imagine that. And it's just big enough to be like a dot from a pen at that big. The whole King James Bible in a pen. How many of you don't even raise your hand? Heard of the party dot? The old tattoo where they just gave you one small. I don't have one, but this is smaller than the party dot. So in your right hand or in your forehead, this quantum dot. Imagine this. I'm just saying. With AI technology, especially like what they're using in China right now. They use geomeshing. We're just going to match up all this technology we mentioned. All the camera systems, CCTVs, all those kinds of things, all at the same time, just like this camera right there. It's a smart AI camera, but it hasn't tried to kill me yet. But there's these cameras all over China, and what they do is they facial recognize everybody in the country as they're going through doing what people do, airport, the train station. They do a lot of train stations. Train station, over here at the soup store, over here at whatever, whatever you're doing. School. They read your faces. And I mean, it's just bam, bam, bam. They just know who you are. And they read it. And they process what's called a social credit score. Social credit score. Remember that word, that term. Social credit score. As it processes your social credit score, this thing sends that social credit score and who you are and your location to their mainframe, AI processes that and says, you're not allowed to go any further than XYZ, and you're not allowed to spend money at XYZ. In fact, since you came here, your social credit score is going down further, and you're not even allowed to ride on this train. And they're declined, and they're made to go back home. They go into the next train that's headed that way. It says, approved. They're able to go back home. They go out, if you want to raise your social credit score, you do posts that are pro-government on the web or on social medias. They do have government-controlled social medias, and they have TikTok. They created TikTok, not us. We're taking the American TikTok over, but China invented it. That's their thing. And so if you do posts that are pro-government, Xi Jinping and all them, pro-government on your social media, and you don't speak out or anything else, you spend money on stuff that's really cool, like healthy stuff, like tofu or whatever else, and you don't eat red meat, and you don't do this, and you don't have more than one kid, or you do have kids, but you move to this area so that you can raise your child where the government wants you to, and you get a job that is paying a lot of taxes, and maybe you even pay more taxes because you're such a good citizen, and your social credit score raises. Guess what? Now you can go visit Uncle whatever his name is in wherever. Now you're able to ride that train. That's a social credit score. It's also digital blockchain technology, digital currency. It's programmable. Your digital currency cuts off right here. So you're not allowed to have it. Your digital currency, because you're a good citizen, you're free to go as far as you want to because you're a good social citizen. That's the technology that already exists, y'all. That's not something Leon made up. That's technology that's already here. Causes all, rich or poor, free or bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And no man could buy or sell save he who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. If you don't have it, you don't get to play. You don't get to eat. You don't get to earn a living. You don't get to do whatever. Let me tell you something sad. There's a mama and there's a daddy. Didn't make it into rapture. They got children. They love their children just like you love yours, just like you love your family. They know about the mark. They know it's coming. And they say, we're going to fight it. We're not going to get it. Somehow, some way, everybody gets hungry. The food runs out. The pantry runs dry. The animals are already all attacking everybody. Nobody wants to hunt. Nobody even knows where they can go. People have already hid in the mountains and the rocks and the caves and cried unto the mountains and the rocks and the caves, fall on us and hide us from the wrath of the Lamb. And he that sitteth on the throne, somewhere, some way, they've escaped. They threw away all their technology. They're out here. Daddy's relying on his old police law enforcement training, and he's got his Mossberg, and he's got his side piece, and he's got his kids and his wife following around him, and they're just going place to place, just trying to make it work. And somehow, some way, Dad gets hurt. Old football injury or something. And they're hiding out in this warehouse trying to hide from the drones because the drones have facial recognition technology and they're all over the place and they're able to, they've even got those dog drones that have those, its cameras way better than that, 2 or 3 of them on their heads, one on their chest and one behind them, so they got 360-degree views and they're going around scanning people and they've got about 6 hours worth of battery time and by the time this one's on its way back from mission, the other one's coming and scanning that sector. Plus you got your Phantom drones, you got satellite technology. I had a thing, and I'm probably going to get in trouble if I mention it, but I'm going to mention it because I'm just a loose cannon right now. But there was a thing called the Night Stalker that we got to use. And this thing was essentially a satellite camera package that went on a boom that could go 30 feet up in the air. And it was on the back of a Humvee, and we would drive wherever we wanted to drive, and whatever our mission said, raise up the boom, and we could zoom in several miles out and read your newspaper. You put AI to that, facial recognition technology, social credit score, and you link it to the internet, and guess what? It's smarter than you are and knows you're there. And it doesn't even glare when you point it in where the sun is. This technology had already existed. It was 2004 when we used it. So think about what they got now. I mean, this is all technology that is here. It wasn't here 20 years ago or 30 years ago. It wasn't here 30 years ago. It's here now. No man could buy nor sell. How did they do that? With a click of a mouse or with AI, you don't get to sell. You don't get to buy. Right. Better get good at making rocking chairs, and you better find people that want rocking chairs, and they better buy you some food. And guess what? If the system picks up that they're buying too much food for their household, you're hit anyways. Dad's lame. He's laying over here, leaned up against something. Mama says, I'm going to try to find us something, y'all. Stay quiet. Watch out for your dad. She grabs that pistol, puts it in her pocket, walks, and there's that robot dog. It's existing technology right now. She knows she's spotted. It walks up to her. They have a thing where their head can boom up to almost this level. And she knows she's dead to rights. And then here comes a drone. And then here comes a person. Ma'am, I need to see your hands. Turn your hands around, please. Come to me. She walks closer. Turn around. Put your hands behind your head. On your knees. Right foot over your left foot. Do it now. Sit down. Don't move. Do you have identification? Yes, sir, it's in my back pocket. He finds the gun. Who are you here with, ma'am? I'm not here with anybody. Who are you here with, ma'am? I'm not here with anybody. Why don't you have a mark? I don't want a mark. Why don't you have a mark? I don't want a mark. You're coming with me. He zip cuffs her, puts a black bag over her head, stands her up, takes her to their vehicle. She can hear people screaming from the inside already. She's not the only one. It's a crazy scenario when you think about it on our level. But honey, we do that to people in other countries right now. Right now. It seems unrealistic until you think that there are folks getting bagged and tagged right now in other countries. The same technology that we're talking about right now, we're doing that to people in other countries. What makes you think that ain't this? Here, we are not exempt from the truth. The truth is coming. The truth is down the line. If you had a chance to tell somebody this conversation, I'm going to read this last verse and then I'm going to what I've just, to finish that thought. Here's wisdom. This is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. 300 or 600, 60, 20, 20, 20, or 60, 20, 20, 20, or 60, and 6. Now, in the Old Greek, it reads 666. 666, I believe, is exactly the number. But if you think about it, the key is it's the number of a man. It's a particular image. It's a particular name. The name of the beast, his number, or the image. One of the three has to be on you, and that's that. It could be a QR code that is a quantum dot, could be a microchip, could be whatever. But pay no attention to all of the this, that, and the other things. Not the man behind the curtain. Calm down. I know how your mind works. We pay attention to a lot of the crazy things that get in our mind, and our minds go wild. But I want your mind to go one place, one direction. Someone you know is going to go through that. Someone you know is going to go through this time. Are they going to be the mama that gets bagged and tagged? Are they going to be the father that gets bagged and tagged? How long are they going to be able to get away? If they live this far and get away, how long are they going to be able to go? Because we're fixing to read some even crazier, dire things that are about to take place in this time. The technology is here. There's never been a time that aligns up more than right now. Never. The technology is here. I explained it. We're doing it already in other countries. It's already happened. It's evident. There's never been a time that this has been possible. There's never been a time where you could control who bought or sold. Ever in the history of everdom. It's never happened. We're here now. Don't smile at me. She's like, everdom. They did it too. It wasn't just you, honey. But it's now. We're there. If we're that close to the middle of the tribulation, when's the rapture?
Come on.
In October 31st, I wanted to decorate for Christmas. I wanted to decorate for Christmas. I knew Christmas was approaching. She said, we ain't even been to Thanksgiving yet. I'm thinking about Revelation 13. The rapture is Thanksgiving. That's how close we are. We're already living in the conditions for the middle of the tribulation. I had a conversation with one of my friends, old army buddy. Went something like this. Promise me, if you decide you want to keep going down the road that you're going and you don't want to accept or believe in Jesus Christ, promise me one thing. There's going to become a time, and it's not that far off, where they're going to approach you, they being anybody in an authoritative position, is going to approach you, and they're going to say, if you want to be a part of the system or die, you've got this choice. Get a mark, whatever that mark is, in your right hand or in your forehead, or we're going to kill you. No matter what, brother, no matter what, don't take the mark. Don't take the mark. Someone you love needs to hear those 3 words, or the 4 words. Don't take the mark.
Right.
Whatever the cost. don't take the mark. That's what we have to pass on. There's only one way to heaven, y'all. Being a good person ain't going to do it for you. Sorry. That ship has sailed. Salvation's not something you can earn.
Right.
Old Testament, they had to sacrifice, they had to do this, they had to go once a year and meet the priest and bring them stuff. Even Jesus' parents, when he was born, brought the turtle doves and things at the temple and did the sacrifice. And when the 8 days had come, he was able to be given a name and all that. Here now, we don't have to sacrifice anything but our vanity. Just choose Jesus. I choose Jesus. That's an easy grace. The simplest thing I could ever do is put my faith in the truth. The hardest thing, it takes more faith not to believe in Jesus. It takes more faith not to believe in God. Because we know in our hearts it's true. It takes a whole lot of faith to fight against the truth. If I told you there's a steeple on this church, everybody in here knows it's true. It would take a whole lot of faith to convince yourself it's not. Your friends, the human condition knows something's missing. We know that. Only the Christian, only the people that believe in Almighty God know for a fact God exists. That's what's missing. But only a believer says, Lord, I yield. I believe. I know you're it. Help me to be better at showing it. Help me. 4 words. Remember for the rest of this week, for the rest of your lives. Share it to everybody. There's coming a time when you've got a choice. You either believe or you take the mark. Don't take the mark. Stand with me.